This is Monarchy, and I'm just going to talk about random subjects and see what things get um, Sega NGS can improve and fix due to. Let's talk about the headline on the Mars system. The Mars system, what we have so far, is decent. Should anybody invest getting into the Mars system? Yes and no. Due to the Mars system is not a game changer, and at the same time it is. It's very a borderline of what can achieve for you, and also depending on your playstyle. Due to it's not a big change. Yes, it improves. It's a boost, but it's not technically a step up. Yes, I mess around with these AIs. As you could tell, they are docile and pretty dumb. The only way, before I keep going further in the Mars system, they're docile to an extent that they don't do anything. And they're stupid AIs that, as for each and every monster, they have range of awareness and also how their mechanics work. So each and every one is slightly different. And you'll see later on. See, the only way they will be aware if, like, right about here. See, he's aggro towards me. So if I move, he's trying to find me to stay aggro and fight. But he is locked on to me. And let's go to the mini boss here before I keep talking about the Mars system. See, this like the weakness of these dolls or monsters, wherever you want to call them. It's like Dark Souls or any of those type of games. Diablo, well, not Diablo, but mostly like Dark Soul type of games. The weakness is the backside. So only way to defeat them, or if you want to get flawless or speed running, it's pretty much right here, because they're non-targeting you. So once they target you, like right about here, that's where, if you could hear the music change, and the camera slightly, we'll watch. If I get out of sight, where it cannot reach me, see, the music is like all, and watch, the camera just zoomed in or zoomed out, and the music changed. That's where he's not aggro. or he forgot about you. Let's do it again. Get him aggroed, target you. And once I go here, well, since he's focusing on battle, I wonder, will the aggro get away from me, or will still be aggro since he's active in battle? That he still remembers me. Yep. And he was there, and then yeah, that's the mechanic of these dolls. I didn't mean to, leech, but it happens when you're in a range, and we're gonna talk about that too. But anyways, going back to Mars system, it's not a game changer to an extent, and it's not even aiming towards meta. How Sega and NGS are they're aiming towards casual audience. I'm not saying that it's a bad thing or is a good thing. It's just that it's what they're into now. What this IP is based of. As for like like the farming mechanics of a certain games, like Pokemon for an example, Mario, I could say what's it called, the Stella Blade, also Cyberpunk and well, I wouldn't say Monster Hunter. Well, yeah, kind of Monster Hunter, and anything else besides like Borderlands, Destiny. It is aimed towards casual players, and also it's there's no risk involved, like Dark Souls for an example, or Elder Rings. There are risks, but they're also aimed towards casual players if they choose to play it and in their own pace. So, and NGS particularly, that's what their goal is. Those type of games that I have mentioned, they have certain goals and metas, and also opportunities to achieve other things, and you could make builds. But as is right now, since we're level cap 90, in this year we're gonna reach 95. After that, we're gonna reach level 100 next year. So what does that mean by saying the Mars system is it's pretty much a treat for us, but also it's just there hanging in due to, yes, it's nice and fancy. You have your main, you have your main and subclass. Pretty much the same thing when I'm using my Slayer and Gunslinger. I have my main and subclass that I could use or fuse together depending on the palettes though. So the weapon palettes, it's pretty much the same shit. You can rearrange if you want to. It acts the same way of the sub, palette, armor, well, equipment, weapons. Not armor as of yet, due to you cannot do that on armor. But weapons you can. You could sort it as you wish. So, what does that tell us? Oops. So what does that tell us, or what kind of information we get from it? And also, let me give you guys a what Hito have said or mentioned. Give me a second. Okay, one of the operation report, they asked him, are there any plans to introduce EX augments to armor? So what is that telling us? When he gave us an honest answer but very vague, that it's an exclusive for weapons only. But he hasn't said it or addressed it that it will never come to armor. He never said that. He said, as of now, it's exclusive to weapons. So that's telling us, since we're level 90 and they just introduced Mars, it's gonna be way overbalanced to the part that it's gonna break the game. That it's gonna be over broken. It's gonna be God tier. So they don't want to overwhelm the players, and also it may put a shift that players might not like it, due to the evidence that we have in the past games or the previous how NGS been working from PSO2 base game content that we have so far, that anytime they introduce a class or armor or weapons, what happens? They get readjusted or fixed, or a sneak hidden nerf to an extent, for it doesn't feel like that the class that we are using or the weapons that we are using for our class, that won't feel that nerf or that hit as much. So they have to do the give and take type of thing. So in order to resolve that issue, they have to keep it as is, like the companies from Nintendo, PlayStation, Xbox, when they say time exclusive or exclusive, it means it's exclusive for this type of platform. Or time exclusive, it's temporary. So for the EX augments, is going to be temporary for weapons till we hit the threshold of 100, and maybe a little more till they figure out what is our power level going to be like at 100 and NGS standpoint of view, not PSO2 base. So they're probably going to compare things and see what is the right set for casual players. Just take it easy and do their own thing. So this begs the question, will they introduce EX armor when we have our threshold in 100, and maybe a little more till they figure out what is our power level going to be like at 100 and NGS standpoint of view, not PSO2 base. So they're probably going to compare things and see what is the right set for level, or when we have another threshold when our power level is more than, we're gonna hit a certain peak at 100. So how can we go beyond further of that power, since we're not able to upscale level anymore? It's like Dragon Ball Z in a certain thing. They hit a threshold that they became too powerful, Goku and Vegeta. And so how can they go upscale a notch? Super has made that God form, or, the blue form. And in Destiny, in case, their threshold of level cap is 40 or something like that. I haven't played that for a while. So what I could remember, at 40 is the cap level. So how can you increase your battle power or light power? It's pretty much saying you need a new armor to increase your battle power, not your level anymore. Now it's focusing on battle power to increase it. How they're gonna do that? Maybe the same way, or where you have to do something to get to a certain point to beat like a boss like level 99. So that's, something to keep in mind. So that's why till we hit that certain point, or we may see EX augments on armor later on, not this year, maybe the next year or the year after that, depending how long this game survives and lives. With that being said, till we reach level 100, then you guys can worry about the Mars system. Till now, it's pretty much a little gimmicky, a new toy that you can play with, or you don't want to play with it. It doesn't make a difference. The only difference it would do is, for an example, as you could see how much for a single shot. Now if I use Mars system, it's a boost. So it depending, say it goes even a little further than 5,000 is the max. So depending, and it's faster to knock down bosses or enemies, mobs, whatever. So the Mars system pretty much is a boost. Do you really need that extra mileage of boost? Yes and no. As of now, no. You can, if you want, be overachiever. That's the, key. But, going back to, what else? Oh, each and every individual class, weapons, someone said in the report when Hito was mentioning or talking about that. Let's see if I snagged it or took a picture of it. Okay. It says it's difficult to fight smaller bosses, enemies like Bujin because the camera zoom and closer than usual during battle. Are there any plans to fix it? Okay. So, with that in mind, let me just get rid of these enemies really quick. Okay. So, what they're pretty much having trouble with, since the majority of players are used to having locked on, and they have to change, in my opinion and my experience, when I have certain difficulties like that, what I need to do, since I'm an actual fighter, I used to fight a lot, so this locking on, it's good for one-on-one action if you're fighting one-on-one. But if you're fighting multiple enemies, 2, 3, 4 or more, locking on is not the best interest. But if you're focusing to fight with one and then go for the other one next. But what I advise, and the tip and tricks, is using locking off. Yes, the cursor, the little white ring that you see here on this little training target dummy, it's locked on, but it's not, it's a temporary. So you could focus on to throw, your moves at that one target. Also, you could just change your direction. Like my move, that I do this and that, shifting, bait and switch. I don't need a lock on because the temporary lock on does it for me, and I just need to adjust the camera. That is one of the moves, if you are a Slayer class, that you could do. You could kind of do something similar to other different classes that you have and the different type of weapons that you're using on those classes. So similar but slightly different you have to do. And also when you're fighting a doll, you just don't need lock on, because you could lock on this way. Let's say to hit 2 targets, you have to probably charge, or depending what weapon you're using, and doing something like that will hit the next monster behind it. But also you could do something like this, And pretty much if a monster is in front of you, like this training target in front of me, I could hit to the other one that I'm targeting as well. So I'm hitting two birds with one stone. That's a trick that you could do. Or also if you have AoE, you're shooting two targets. But also your awareness is limited, because you're focusing on one. Even though my character's moving around, it's not moving my camera. The camera's moving at a certain angle where I'm focusing on that target. But once I locked off, I have awareness around me, so I could move and adjust my camera. So that's what players need to play with it and improve on that. So, other thing, each class, like Hunter, Gunner, Braver, Ranger, I probably said Ranger a second time, sorry about that, and Waker, Forcer, Techer, etc., etc., and their weapons for each class. Each and every class and weapons themselves, they have limited range that you have to be aware of and get familiar of, due to, since I'm a Slayer and I'm gonna demonstrate, I could hit a target from that point. And this is where my mid-range can hit a target from that point that far. But what if I go slightly further from that healing? Let's see, how far is my mid-range? See, I cannot hit that from this far where the healing is. The only way I could hit that target, and it is possible, is by charging. Once I charge, I can land a hit from that far. If I want to go a little bit further, charging, I can. But, you know, a normal weapon action to shoot, non-existent, due to it's not powerful enough, and Slayer is built for close quarter performance and mid-range. Any further than that, it's not possible. The only way it's possible is by charging and shooting. Same goes for Hunter, and so on and so forth. Each weapon has their limit. Sword weapons, most likely, they're gonna be close quarter or mid-range, or both, depending how you play the game and how you use it and your style. So you have to learn your range awareness for each and every class, or the class that you prioritize. So think on that and learn from it, from your weaknesses and strength. So once we get further towards the newer content in the future, I guarantee you there's going to be bosses, mini bosses, mobs. They're going to start being little slightly difficult. Not as much, but it's going to be maybe overwhelming due to we're getting, you know, more tastier performance on Sega and NGS. Maybe, but like I said previous, as of now, we don't have meta. In the future, are we gonna have meta? My take, in my opinion, is that we may not see meta. Here's why. People are min-maxing, and because min-maxing does not exist technically, the actual reference is hardcore or soft core, and casual core, softer, you know, you kind of get the idea, but there's like so many reference. But and this modern age, min-maxing exists. But I'm not gonna get too much detail on it. I'm not saying it's a bad thing or it's a good thing, but I'm gonna talk about more min-maxing in another video. Right now, I'm, you know, juggling some stuff and trying to get it perfect for that I could feel satisfied to give it to you guys on a video. As of now, I'm not as satisfied yet. But here's the thing. The state of the game and how it is right now, it feels like we're getting somewhere close. But there are several features and key features we don't have. Because as of now, Sega's just putting, tidbits here and there and half-assing, we can say. That it's not fully developed, but they just brought it towards us and saying, here we go. This may or may not be the finished product, but here we go. By doing that, it's making more layers of and overstacking that there are bugs, glitches, and loops, things that it's going to be harder to get rid of due time moving forward. If they stop doing several projects and focusing on certain things, what they should be focusing, key components, then they could focus and releasing other new stuff little by little. But it has to be the full extent. But since they're, like enhancement laboratory, for an example.
Hello.
It needs improvement from enhancement, excuse me. Adding augments, transfer. The transfer thing should go, because this says here all augments transfer. That means all. It doesn't matter if it's EX or whatever gonna come up in the future, if there is any other, or just basic things. And EX, this should be pretty much the same shit. This, it's taking up space, adding another prompt and making the game and the engine work even harder. So there are several stupid things that Sega does, and it's irrelevant. We don't need it because it's taking up space. So unlock potential. And they should word it different and change certain aspects of things due to the enhancement's fine, just that it needs more material, less maceta. We get that. Limit breaking, I guess is okay. But I don't think it's refining. Uh, Limit breaking is like leveling up or an upgrade. So it makes your weapon has an evolution or a change that should be fixed and addressed. Adding augments. You should be able to do it on your persona. Like if I go to gear and sub palette, I should be able to do it here. It should have, instead of this item list, it should have an augment list. And depending on the augment and elemental or whatever you're trying to decide, it should change how your weapon looks. Potential. I guess, but you should be able to re-roll or farm for the ones that you're looking for. Preset. See, all this to me is not necessary, but we should have that says preset skill transfer, not enhancing. Not adding either, because it doesn't make a difference. If someone can tell me, does adding preset skill make a difference, or what does it do? Enhancing preset? I don't know. I think they just... But what does that do? I haven't seen any video. So if someone knows, please share me a link of what does these three do, because I'm not sure. But let's see. It doesn't say anything how it works. You have a support item that will allow you to save material items. Hide the confirmation message until you close the game. It doesn't tell me anything. Preset. See, the preset skill will high, however, the level 1 skill to add a preset attached is recommended. It doesn't. Yeah, someone needs to explain how these three work, because I have no clue. Because if it doesn't really benefit me or anyone in the community or any gamer, this should be taken down and add like a reroll system for a lot of things. Multi-weapon, okay, fine. Yeah, that's fine. Other than that, I don't know. They need to fix that and address that. Oh.
Hello.
I believe. Okay. This is where it's nice that it says A16 on Grant Dreadkeeper 2. A11, 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 so I'm guessing if I want to put these three type of augments, I won't be able to on a weapon or armor. And you could only have one of these. That's what it's telling me. So A9. So if you have something that is the same, like these three, you're not able to equip it on the armor or weapon. All three, you could only equip one. So, like this one and Lux Alpha Nally and Alpha Nally, I cannot equip those two. I could only equip one. Makes sense. It would be nice to have something like this in the personal shop. Therefore, like, if I want to go, let's go to top sellers. Okay. So if I want to choose or buy this, whatever, I would know that I could put these two in armor and weapons. But they should have a better category system, because this AI needs an overhaul. As you go in to the personal shop, it looks okay. It's not, a perfect AI system. I would like to mess with or get into the market system, because due to, if you see the unhighlighted things, what someone told me back then, that in order for I could get these set up, is that I had to farm titles. And the title bullshit, a lot of people are not fond of it, and nobody is not gonna go hunt for titles. I'm not a trophy hunter. I don't farm titles. I don't give a shit about titles or farming trophies. If we're talking about certain platforms like PlayStation, for an example, some people are obsessed to trophy farm, and Xbox, they have a similar system that they farm for something. I forgot what it is. Maybe it's trophy. Can't recall. But I'm not that type of person. Sega should know this, that there's different type of people that does and like certain things. So titles, I don't give a flying fart. And the visual gear design, the little logo crap, that is okay. I mind it. I like it. Am I gonna farm or hunt and go to certain crap like, what is this? The Great Wall and the triggers, the freaking original tower, and I believe the labyrinth thingamabob. I'm not the type of person that's gonna go there. I asked someone, what is the benefit? What would I get from it once I do that? He said there's items that I could sell in the shop. I don't really give a damn about it. Don't care about selling items. The items is pointless for me. Maybe pointless for someone else. Or they like it. They want it to make money to go there. Okay, is there exclusive things? They're like, there is certain augments and certain weapons, maybe camos or whatever he mentioned. I'm like, those are not interesting for me. And there's titles, even worse, not even interested. So I don't play this thing because I don't like jumping. I have issues with jumping since freaking Destiny 1. I'm not a platformer. Well, I play platforming games, but like Mario, for an example, and I believe the other games that I have mentioned, I play certain platform games. But although I, if the mechanics is good that I could jump and do whatever platforming parkour thing, excellent. I'm decent and pretty good on it. But when this,
Hi
like
there.
this character, for an example, I can't jump to save my life to go from A to B. Like,
Welcome.
if I'm here, how can I reach to, let's say, up here? Especially when there is timing involved, I'm not good on doing those things. You could ask my alliance or my clan in Destiny. They know I suck on platforming in raids, and they love to watch me suffer. And they like to have fun, and I like to have fun. At least that stressful and platforming puzzle environment. It's more rewarding because you're going to a raid, you're doing certain puzzles, certain tasks, platforming, but their rewards are chef's kiss. As of here,
Hi there.
the titles, I don't give a damn about it or whatever crap they're trying to convince me to put shit in the market or get outfits. Not my really cup of tea. I like my outfits, but it's not a, you know, way to go, that is rare, or, you know, it's not a problem solving type of thing. In Destiny, you have to solve and figure out certain things or find out certain clue, and one point leads to another. So a key or a map, you're gonna get to finding out what it is because it's pretty much an unknown. You're trying to unravel, and then once you unravel, like the Whisper Sniper, there is a certain task that you need to do and accomplish. And then you have to do a puzzle and problem solving to figure out how the mechanic works. And then you have to do this huge mini raid inside the game. That it's not a raid. You're just, it feels like it because you have to do certain obstacles and it takes so long to get to a certain point. And then once you finish it, you're like, oh, finally finished it. And your reward, what you were looking for, or something that you never know what it was, you got it. So that's like a trophy. You could pretty much like, say, haha, I got this. Are you gonna get something like that? Or someone else is gonna get something like that? Maybe, maybe not. Depending what type of person you are and what you're trying to look for or your goal is. Here, you don't have no goals. You don't have shit like that. Like the Destiny experience or Monster Hunter experience. Carving, taking out certain monsters, getting certain parts to improve your weapons and your armor. You don't get that in NGS, even though people glorify NGS and PSO2. It's nothing like any of um, Dark Souls or Elder Ring and Persona and any other games like that. It's a RPG and also MMO in a different type of way or format. In this case, this is like a cheap version of, especially how Sega and NGS working to get certain things, and they're slow as molasses. So they need to upgrade, change the market system for the better good. I'm glad they changed the maintenance schedule. That on its own, it's an improvement into the game. Why? Because let me go here. This is why. Let's say, for the sake of the argument, if I want to transfer my character to ship 1 for an example, or ship 2, ship 3, or 4, each and every maintenance, players are able to go to ship 1 or 2, 3, or 4, whatever ship they are right now. The ship they're going to go later on in the other maintenance and jump in. Why is great that they cut that off every week. It's a maintenance every Tuesday. It's a maintenance, so they are not going to be able to do that. So it takes off the advantage and disadvantage from other players. So, and the people that are scamming, scalping, or cheating won't be able to take advantage of the market that much, even though they still can, but it would be gatekeeping them from every maintenance for every Tuesday. It won't be like that anymore. So they have to change strategy, change what the community and the player base they don't like. Once something's changing, they're gonna be iffy about it and more taxing on them, especially if there are cheaters, scammers, and scalpers. It's gonna be more taxing on them. So they probably have to network with certain players or their group. So one day they'll have to do this or that, depending where they are located. So it would be more of a stressful till they figure things out, how to do it better. As of now, it's a slow process. So that's one great big change. Now they need to change the market system. They have to change they should. But would they do that? Who knows at this point? I cannot tell the future. I could maybe, be ahead of what Sega and NGS gonna do. But am I able to read their minds? No. So they should fix the salon and yada yada. And also fix this system of cooking quick food. The recipe, okay, stays there, but selecting, creating food. Each and every food or item has a slightly benefit to consume or make a certain recipe for, it's not a big oof like Monster Hunter. The food process in Monster Hunter gives you a great advantage and great buffs. You cannot mix and match or enhance the food, improve the food quality to improve your buff, how you consume it. So it would be nice if Sega make them useless foods, make them useful. So depending on the region, or if we're gonna get new regions, the weather or the weather theme, and if it's gonna have blizzards, thunderstorms, tornadoes, lava, going underwater or going to space, consuming and having it in the inventory or cooking it in the device before we go out, that would change the game drastically a little bit. Before I go, like sector zones. In sector zones, there's an issue. What I've heard of in JP and Global starting to do it, that once there is a burst, once the bursts finish, the whole squad or group will leave, or half of them will leave, or just one person. Let's say I'm the one person, I'm waiting till the gauge bar goes up. And once it is in a certain point, I let my group know, hey, the gauge is this much. Come to this block and where I'm at, come here so we could farm the burst. And then they go to another block and rinse and repeat. But the people that stay here, AFK, or not doing much, or being a bot. But those players that's level 90, and their battle power is cuisine, that is around my level or higher, they're being AFK and leeching. People have been saying the players that is lower, or people that's getting out of doing something, and like myself, me explaining, not being too close to the burst, but they have a risk to get reported. Why does the other players and also content creators and other players that is in the community, they don't get in trouble, but the other players that's like, okay, making content or doing their own thing, or they have to do something in the real world, they get in trouble and they get reported. It's tick for tack. That's all I'm gonna say, and I'll see you guys next time that I will explain other things more further. So peace out.